What's going on, traders? How's everybody doing? I hope you had a great trading day. Wanted to go over today's price action. Thursday, March 16th, S&P 500 ending higher. Market's up 1.75%. Final print 396.11. All right, so we're starting off here at the daily chart, but before we do that, if you are enjoying the content, please smash the like button, give a subscription if you find it in your heart, and if you think we're heading higher, lower, whatever your opinion is on the market, leave a comment below. I'd love to hear what you are thinking. Now, today, great rally in the markets. Of course, we have OPEXXX tomorrow, so we want to be cognizant of that. It could bring some more choppy price action, or we may continue to rally. I think we last OPEXXX, I think we had a trend day, but considering today we got quite the move, I'd be more inclined to think we see some chop, and especially with OPEXXX. So that being said, lastly, this is all for entertainment purposes only and education. And these are just my opinions about the market. So with that out of the way, here we are on the daily chart. Now we're coming right up to a volume point of control on the daily, so we want to watch for some potential rejections in that area. I have that sitting right at 396.82, so let's be cognizant that's not too far away from where we are as far as the price is concerned. Good sign here how we have closed back inside of this consolidation. So quite the breakout when we got over that 393.50. And I apologize not for posting a video last night, but there's another chart I want to point out to you guys, and unfortunately I was looking at it last night and we've kind of already started to make the move that I was looking for, but I will throw it out there in a second anyway. Now the other thing I wanted to mention is we are just about at that 50% retracement here. If we were to take this move as one big giant candle, we are about 50% of the way. So usually as far as short ideas, sometimes I like to look for those 50% and 25% retracements. Here we are at the 50, so that is we are in an interesting spot. And I could see us potentially pulling back here, retesting to see how strong this 393.50 area is, and then potentially making another move up higher. That might be next week, but let's watch for that scenario, back testing, seeing how strong this area is, and if there's any leftover orders there, they're going to come by, pick them up, and then have that liquidity to drive us up higher. But let's see what happens. If we break under, watch for a lot more selling to come in, and this will just be a fake break. Okay, so I believe in the video, the last one that I posted, we were also looking at the fibs, and we were talking about that 395 target. I think I was mentioning something over 394.20, or I can't really remember because I haven't watched that video. Either way, I know we were talking about this extension, the 38.2 extension being a profit target area, or something I was looking for as for my long side plan, and we did get that today. Obviously, a long shot by $1. We could also come back and just retest this retracement, so just come back to the 395 and then bounce up higher as well. So we'll see if we get the 393 retest, or if we just do a little 15% test before pushing up, but that we do not know. Now the other thing I wanted to mention was this 393.30 area is the 9 EMA here on the daily. Nice confluence with the bottom of this trend, this consolidation here. So I'd be pretty interested in trying along in that area personally if we do get into that zone. Nice confluence with the bottom of this consolidation that we just broke out of, and the 9. Of course, that 9 is going to shift tomorrow, but that general zone. That sounds like an interesting trade for me. As far as the confluence to the bear side here, we get, like I was saying earlier, VOPC just above 30. 396.82 with the daily 20 at 396.50. Well, 49. We'll call it 50. So that whole zone really interesting as well for a potential pullback. So there's some two kind of areas that I'd be looking at to see maybe a move down to a little long idea if we dip, and potentially as long as we hold under that 20 and VOPC on the daily, that could show us some resistance and sellers to enter the market. All right, so the other thing I wanted to, before we get into today's price action, let's just look at, what was it? Okay, oh, it was on the daily trends. Okay, great. So I was looking at this last night, posted it up in the chat room, but I wanted to do a video talking about this and kind of mention it publicly, which I really haven't. So we were in this new kind of Satan's chop box here, and the top of the this was the top of the consolidation in the other chart that we were looking at, and my predisposition was that we really wouldn't see that strong trend day in either direction until we broke out of this consolidation. Now we'll have to see, of course, if this is a true break of the consolidation, but either way, if we come back in here, Satan's chop box, it is pretty wide, so definitely a decent range to trade in, but we just have to watch out for that. Now, I drew these last night before I went to sleep, and for the long target, I wish we didn't break out of this because I would have liked to talk about this before it happened, but if we break over, I'll be looking for up in this zone here, POP area at the high side, 397.70. We'll see if they can get over that 397 area first, but really the 397.70. If we in fact can break up with that, I will look for this next zone around that 404.30, 25, maybe 505, 405 in that area, that pivot. Another area that I would be looking for some bigger long targets. So these are two zones I'm looking for. If we break under, and I would be looking for down here again. So 377, 90, 89 area, all the way down to 374.80 if we do start to break down. All right, so those are just some kind of maybe next week projection long targets. We'll have to see what happens at OPEXXX tomorrow, if we chop around or if this is a fake break and we totally push back down. Yeah. So if we do break back in this consolidation, though, I would also personally consider potential longs depending on what day we come into the level. If we do doing the BRB setup here right along this trend line, hitting some longs, trying to get back up to the consolidation, or looking for that bigger move up and back over it, and looking for these target zones here. So I just wanted to throw that out for you guys. The other thing I have to say here, Momo's starting to pick up a little bit, starting to turn green out of this oversold area, so that is good to see as far as that is concerned. Let's look at today's price action, and then we will get into it. This one's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Okay, so yesterday, this was where we squeezed out of these highs, this supply. Okay, we squeezed out of that. Now we've broken over, we flip it, turn it into demand. We had come back down into that zone again. So this is just price action 101, just came right back in to retest that area, see how strong it is. And this is exactly what I was talking about to see tomorrow. If we come back into that 393 area, there's a lot of, the reason it's coming back here is there's liquidity here from before. They come back in to pick up those orders and also test to see how strong those bids are in that area, and then they have the power to either move up or not. But it's very typical to have it come in those fashions. So Double bottom here into demand. Now I know we had some news, something about the banks. I forget off the top of my head what it was, but it did come out today when Yellen started speaking. We had this bit of a double top here, and when that news came up, that really gave us the rally to come back higher. Now we kind of stalled out. We broke through this pre-market demand, as you can see here. Whoop, there it is. This demand zone up in here. And so we came back to retest that, also making a higher low. So, oh, excuse me, we're right here. So we just came in. If I was to have taken this long, I actually got long, and I was looking more of a chop day today. I actually got long here on this second retest on futures. I think it was like 388.75 something. Well, I forget exactly, but either way. It was a great entry, and I freaking got out. I think I didn't have that much size on the table, but I think I got out like here. I didn't even get when the news came out, so that really stung. But we had taken price out over that high again, back in a little bit of a bull flag, pushing back up here. You can see how we stalled, pushed back down, so kind of put this into a bit of a demand zone. And you can see how it respected it here. We had the reactions here that when it rejected, and so after we have broken through, run some stops again, came up higher. Okay, now we're gonna see some price action. Now here's a trade I did take. I took this short actually as we came right into this 394.30 area. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head why it was. I don't think it was the consolidation zone, but I'll have to go back and check. Either way, we were coming into lunch, had a huge move up. Normally I don't like to do these plays, but I had a pretty good, I felt like I was willing to take this counter trend trade at this time of day. Got about 8 points out of it, 10 points. It wasn't huge, but I'll take that for sure. And then we just came in, we retested this liquidity again before it's supply. Now that we're over, now it's demand. Testing that, another higher low. I wasn't able to pull the trigger here quick enough, but a couple of people in the chat were, and that was awesome. I actually think I got long again when we came down into this 393 area and played this move. But either way, great move up higher. Then we had just kind of sold off, got into a bit of a descending wedge here, right back into here. We can see again, same type of, oh God, excuse me, same type of situation. Let me sip my beer here. Same type of situation. This little zone here where we were stalling out. I'm about to sneeze. Excuse me. We came right back in to retest it. I actually got long here again. I think it was 39.75. Descending wedge right into this demand area. Boom, broke the downtrend, break of the structure, and we had that nice rally into power. And I got about 20-something points out of this move, and that was great. And yeah, I was looking really for that 4,000, but I got out around here, and I got impatient. But we did actually tag the 4,000, which was really the goal I was kind of calling out for. But that's fine. So yeah, that's pretty much what happened in the price action today. Pretty straightforward, a trend. I'm sure here if I was to just go on the 9, what the hell is it? I'm sure if I was just to load up the moving averages, we probably pretty much just ran like even on the 5. Yeah, most of the day. Certainly on the 10, we just rode the moving averages all day, 9 and 20. So pretty easy day as far as that's concerned. Trend. And yeah, here, nice dip right into the 9. Nice dip into the 20. 20. Boom. Seeing some selling here in in Globex, though. I'm going to see about doing some trading in a little bit. But yeah, pretty easy day, just a trend. Really, if if you don't use just price action only, if you use your moving averages, pretty easy, nice opportunities to get in here. Entry. Yeah, I mean that's a quick late night. I don't know. That's a futures entry, but pretty easy, straightforward. Can't complain about days like today. So, another green day in the books. I like it. And what are we looking for tomorrow? Well, let's take a look at some liquidity zones first. Why don't we try that? All right. Okay, so interesting here that we've got this nice area right below that 39.50. I think this is no, must have been on another page. Okay. So if we come back into this area, 392, anywhere down from 392.30 to this 393.50, 393.25. I'd be interested in some longs here. You could see this nice liquidity. Where are we heading next? I think we probably would have to, all things, probably bullish. We could just chop around and maybe we come up to 397.50 and then chop around here like this for a little bit. Let's see. What do I think? Let's look at another time frame. Okay. Interesting little potential 4-hour flag starting here. We still are not too hot on the Momo, so we still got some room on the 4-hour. If we start to break over today's highs, probably be looking to come up and tag this this POP here, this liquidity zone. So maybe 398.20. We'll have to see about that. Of course, we do have volume point of control, as I mentioned before, on the daily and the daily 20 sitting right below us. So we want to be monitoring that, and that may obviously give us some resistance, but likely to be drawn up into this area as long as we don't start to break down. Probably, if we start to get under the 392.60, I'll probably get a little bit more of the short bias and probably try to see if we can't come down maybe to 391.35, something like that, retest these highs. That would totally be a likely scenario to me if we start to break. I think breaking under the 393.50 would be the warning sign, but I would still probably be trying longs up in this area. But if that 392.60 breaks, then I would probably get a little bit more short bias for a retest of these highs here on this candle. Very, that definitely could play itself out. So yeah, that's kind of a little short trade kind of plan I'm looking at. Here's a little long target. I don't know. Every time I wake up, I think I'm going to post something in the morning as far as the game plan that I go over in the chat, and then I always get busy and I never do. So let me see about doing it tomorrow, because I think I'll have a little bit more of a better idea about what we might get tomorrow and kind of a plan. I'll see about posting some levels later tonight. I did post some on Twitter talking about breaking over the consolidation in that 394, the 393.50 and the 394.20. For me, those are those two big levels that were really going to propel us higher, in my opinion, and they certainly did. So I'll post some stuff up on my Twitter. If you guys don't follow me, I'm at _SharkTrader on Twitter, and that's also where I'm posting different levels and jokes throughout the day. But yeah, I don't really have too much on the side of the predictions for tomorrow, but these two levels up above is what I would look at. And for me too, if we get over, I'll say this, I gave some downside targets, but if we're drawn into this liquidity and we break over it, I'd be looking for this next POP. So probably real close to that 400, 399.65 or so. That's what I'd probably be looking for. But word of caution, and then for bears, word of caution under 393.50, and then certainly under 392.55. I'll be probably looking for price to come back and down into that 391 zone, maybe 391.20, somewhere in that area to retest these highs from before. All right, well, I hope that helps. I hope everybody has a great Friday. Remember, OPEXXX, so size down in my opinion. Trade safer. Could be consolidation. We saw such a strong rally today, so that would be likely. So just be careful out there. I wish you the best trading day and a great weekend. We will see you all tomorrow.